I forgot to clarify at the start of making this video that this is a sequel to the "She Doesn't Like Me and It's Okay" video. This is an idea that I've just come up with because thinking about one-sided conversations versus two-sided conversations is something that has been on my mind since creating that "She Doesn't Like Me and It's Okay" video. It's an idea that I explore nearing the end of the video, and I've decided to make a sequel on it. This is what this is. Reason being, I made a whole... actually no, I may or may not have explained why. No, I do remember explaining that I wrote a whole load of stuff in the description, which you'll see in the next clip. But I don't think I said that this is a sequel to the "She Doesn't Like Me and It's Okay" video, but it is. Anyway, on with the video. Well, here we are again. I thought I'd make a video about this topic because I made a whole description on the topic, but after pressing the save button, it was nowhere to be found. I have no idea what happened. I know which description I typed everything on, it being what I'm going to say in the video, but it seems to have deleted itself in some way. Maybe what could have happened is I accidentally pressed the X button rather than the save button, but I'd never do that automatically. I'd never press the X button automatically. But anyway, what I said in that description is what this video is about. I was originally going to title this video something along the lines that signs I've experienced, no, something along the lines of signs females want to talk to me from my experience, or want to talk to you from my experience. But I don't want to go down that route, so I'm purposefully titling it differently. That route being something very similar to like how red pill YouTubers, in my opinion, sound. For example, there's a video that Austin Dunham made called something almost verbatim, how to get attached to you. I don't want to make those sorts of videos, so I'm not even going to dare title this video something similar to that by saying signs females want to talk to you from my experience. So I'm instead going to talk about it in a different way by saying what it's like to have one-sided conversations with females in particular compared to very two-sided conversations with females in particular, just based on my experiences, recent experiences, some of which are even from today. So let's get into it. I really do believe that I can read the room. Certainly heard the phrase from the lady Cheyenne in Castillo's Grilling use that wording, and I'd say that I can do this now, especially with all of the experiences I've had talking to females in both one-sided and two-sided conversations now. From now on, I'm not, by any stretch of the imagination, going to go out of my way to carry on watering what I'll call one-sided conversation plants, one-sided plants. No, they'll be healthy all round. I'm not watering that plant anymore. I've done that so many times, especially way back in the days when I was on Snapchat telling girls from my school, who I went to school with, "You're the only girl that I'm texting." Girls really liked me during very like pre-GCSE, like year 9 and that. There was one time I was walking home and just for no reason, one of the people that I was with just put her hand around me, put her arm around me. But it seems like things are going back to that direction. And some guy, when I was in year 10, when in the PE change rooms, he said that I look like a stud. I do have a nice looking face, and if I get on the premise that I keep on going in this direction I'm going, I'm just gonna look. I'm on the way to looking extremely sexy. My sex appeal is going to be extremely high, because in terms of genetics, like how I look, when referring to how I look, I really do believe that I've won the genetic lottery. Sure, I may not be perfect. My face may not be completely asymmetrical. I have a gap in my front tooth when it's completely clean. But I look more than okay. I look more than all right. If I didn't point out that gap in my front tooth, then I wouldn't think anyone would notice it. But anyway, let's actually get into signs that I've got in my mind that I'm thinking of when it comes to one-sided and two-sided conversations. So let's go with the one-sided conversations. The responses will be very brief. If they are one-worded or even close to one-worded, like that, those sorts of conversations you'd have, and she sound like, yeah, no, but I don't blame you. Those sorts of conversations, she does not want to speak to you. Get the fuck out of that. Get the fuck out of that. Have enough self-respect to not keep on watering that plant. I'm not telling anyone other than myself this, but when I say you, I'm just speaking very generally. Like how Germans would say, one would say X, Y, and Z, or so on. I'm not one to really give advice. I'm looking to learn, not to mentor or to teach. But okay, piggybacking off what I've just said now, adding more onto it, I'd say the less one-worded these responses that she's giving you back they are, the more of a sign that she's tolerating you. If the more one-worded they are, it's like, oh my gosh, stop talking to me. But the less one-worded they are, it's like, there was this one girl that I spoke about today, and she said, well, I have nothing else better to do, in brackets, other than to speak to you. That is not code word for I'm trying to shrug off. As far as I'm concerned, that is not code word for I'm trying to shrug off the fact that I am sexually interested in you. That is your last resort. You are a last resort. You're being used. You're being used just to cure my boredom, not because I actually want to speak to you. I wouldn't even necessarily say that using people, depending on what you mean by using, is actually manipulative or psychotic. Reason being, we are all social beings and we have friendships, we interact with each other. And that allows us to maintain, or if not improve, our social health. There's an interaction in there, and in that sense, we are using each other. Not necessarily because we have ulterior motives, but we are still doing it in the form of interacting with each other. And if we're talking about using each other in that sense, yeah, that's what I mean. But when she said that I don't have anything else better to do, that to me, from now on, that is not code word for I'm shrugging off, saying that I'm shrugging off, or I'm deflecting the opportunity to say that I'm sexually attracted to you. No, that means stop talking, leave, go, be anywhere but here. Anything else? Yes, she really will not go out of her way to ask you how you are if she sees you. If she, with two-sided conversations now, if she really does want to speak to you, she will seem genuinely so happy to see you. And she may, if, for example, what I've experienced, even today, she may ask you how you are more than one time. Enthusiastically, and it sounds like she's genuinely happy to see you. And if you were saying bye to just a whole group of people, she absolutely will say bye back to you if she wants to speak to you. Not even necessarily due to having sexual attraction for you, but simply just because she's being friendly and she wants to speak to you. She wants to be a friend with. She wants to be a friend. And I'm not talking about a friend. I mean genuinely. When I say a friend, obviously I'm talking more so like friends with benefits sort of stuff. I've never indulged in that sort of stuff. My sexual status right now is virgin. I don't even know what it's like to have sex. I haven't put a condom on or anything like that. I don't know how to put a condom on. I haven't done much research about sexual health, and I didn't get the sex talk. So it's my responsibility to go and do some sexual health research before actually losing my virginity. Losing it. I don't like that wording, you know, but that is what it is common. That's what is commonly known as losing your virginity. I'd rather think of it as making the conscious decision to make your sexual status non-virgin. That's many more words than just losing your virginity. But I don't agree with just losing it. If I'm gonna have sex for the first time, or when, no, not if, when I do, it's going to be a conscious decision. It's not something that I would have just done and it just happened. Oh, it just happened. I just lost it. No, it'll be a very conscious decision. In the sense that before I have sex with a female, I'll make sure that I fucking like her before I fuck her. Not only that, but I would have done a lot more research on sexual health, and she'd be giving me signs that she wants to take things that way, and then I'd be able to, with that in mind, have more experience, because from those experiences, I'd then be able to know, okay, if she starts talking to you in this way, if she starts saying X, Y, and Z to you, and she starts asking X, Y, and Z questions, then that means she's sexually interested in you. And then the more experiences I have, then that would mean the more information I would have collected and gathered up, which I would then be able to use to help me negotiate in my dating life. But right now, the sexual status is virgin, not non-virgin, virgin. It seems like the way how I'm really just living the life I want to live, and becoming the person I want to be. I think that's things just naturally going to lead that way with females for me. It's not like I lack social skills, not at all. And I wouldn't say I lack confidence, if that's what you want to call it. I don't want to use that word because I haven't yet made the clear decision as to whether I believe confidence does or doesn't exist. So I'll instead use the word comfortable. I feel comfortable around both men and women. So if I am interested in dating someone, I'm not going to feel uneasy. I'm not going to feel nervous, because I feel comfortable within myself, even at this point in time, especially a lot more than I once did. So that will just naturally come off, and then potentially females that are interested in dating me may see that and then want to date me even more and want to be in a relationship with me even more. I don't know. We'll see. But no, I will see. There's no we in this. It's not your fucking business. But going back to the video now, she absolutely will not ask how you are unless you ask her first. She does not give a shit about your existence enough to go out of her way to ask you how you are. The audacity. No, she will not ask you. If you sense that the conversations are one-sided and she doesn't want to speak to you, she absolutely will not ask you how you are before you ask her first. She does not give a fuck enough about your existence to want to go and ask how you are. Yeah. the conversations will seem very one-sided. They won't, it'll be like, oh yeah, those sorts of conversations. It will always be you leading the conversations. I'm not saying that in two-sided conversations it's only her leading, no, but it will always, literally always, be you leading those conversations. That's another sign, because she doesn't want to have a conversation with you. So why, if seeing as she doesn't want to have a conversation with you, why would she go out of her way to ask to get to know you more, or to get to know more about what you're doing, for example in the gym? Well, she's not gonna go and do that because she doesn't want to speak to you. She does not give a shit enough about your existence. She doesn't like you. When I say you, I'm not saying you as an individual. I'm just saying that, like, very generally speaking, if a female doesn't like a guy. Anyway, what else? If there is anything I've missed, if I think I've missed a lot in the future, or I think what I'm saying now is well out of date, then I'll make another video on it. But I don't want to go down that sort of red pill, alpha male, beta male, red pill, blue pill, piss pill, shit pill content. I don't want to go down red pill, car pill, cupboard pill, fan pill. I'm not interested in going down that route. I certainly did once by creating a channel called Blue to Red. It's no longer called that. It's not called that, by the way. I don't make videos, those sorts of videos anymore. But I certainly did once upon a time. And yeah, I'm not interested in doing that anymore. I'd much rather just make videos based on what I'm experiencing in life. I have a lot more fun doing that. And I am genuinely living the life that I'm on the way further and further every single day to living the life I truthfully want to live. I'd much rather that than stay stuck in a set of ideas. The way how I'm making videos now and how I will be doing in the future, I'm not allowing myself to I'm allowing myself to grow and develop my mindset rather than stay stuck in a certain set of ideas, like in the red pill sort of manosphere. Some people like alpha male strategies, for example, having the mantra of, we gonna fuck these hoes to sleep. I don't want that. I don't want to go out of my way. I don't want to go out of my way to have sex with as many females as possible, like FedEx Fearless has proudly said in one of his videos. I don't know which one it was. I actually did pay for his Patreon membership, and that was just a hole in my pocket eventually. So I eventually undid my subscription, and it was either in one of the YouTube videos or one of the Patreon videos in which I heard him say that. I don't know which platform it was, but yeah, there's a fun fact. I did actually pay for his buy me a coffee. And also Anthony Spade's Patreon, I paid for that as well, but again, that was a hole in my pocket. Yeah, I don't want to be like these guys. I don't want to be like these guys who make it seem like all they really are interested in doing is just fucking. I can more than understand why those sorts of videos get quite a few views in the tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands, or heck, every now and then maybe in the millions, in the low millions. And if there's any reason as to why I think that's the case, it'd be because it's about fulfilling hardwired needs of having sex with as many females as possible, so that your genes are more likely to be passed off. That's how in biology we're taught that our ancestors would have sex with as many females as possible, and with seemingly the most fertile females as possible, so that their genes can successfully be passed on, so that they can evolve. Survival acts to further extend survival of our genes is very stimulating. For example, sex. That's very stimulating. I wouldn't know because I haven't done it, but if we're just talking down to like in terms of biology and down to a chemical standard, I think a lot of serotonin or the love hormone gets released, and that's very stimulating. And people, especially if they aren't getting physical affection from anywhere else other than the people who they date, it makes sense as to why they go and chase having sex, because that's the only physical affection that they get. And we all, regardless of gender or where we've come from, are looking for physical affection in some way, even if that means having a pet, for example. If we're not getting it from family, we're not getting it from friends, like true genuine friends, or maybe even friends that have ulterior motives, we're going to look for it somewhere. And that is okay. As far, in my opinion, that's fine. That's fine. But what isn't okay now is not showing any form of awareness to the fact that that is the case. At least it is, in my opinion. I'd also say what isn't acceptable is also strictly listening to any sort of creator and then digesting these videos without question, just literally just copying and pasting what they're saying, downloading that into your brain and then allowing that to come out of your mouth without actually questioning their ideas. I was like that once upon a time, especially like 2 years ago, back when I had that channel, Blue to Red as in blue pill to red pill. Pardon me. Along the process of me actually building a mind of my own and thinking thoughts that come from within, not something that someone has just said or a group of people that have just said on the internet, I did do that first. Ideally, we as people learn how to genuinely think for ourselves and question what we are listening to first and always, rather than just digesting what's being said without question. But I don't know if that might not be possible. We might have to actually digest things without question first before being able to think for ourselves. I don't know. But anyway, let's get back into the main topic of the video. But now I'm going to talk more so about what it's like having a two-sided conversation with a female now, and signs that she really does want to speak to you, even if she's interested in being no more than friends with you, genuine friends with you at that point in time. Now, I want to explore what it's like to have a very two-sided conversation with a female. Now, there's one female in particular in the gym that I go to that we have very two-sided conversations in the gym, and we've had quite a few experiences, many encounters together. And I do like speaking to her, just like how it seems like she likes speaking to me. So let's talk about it. First of all, she'll seem very genuinely happy to see you. I think this is something that I've said earlier on in the video. She may say something along the lines like, "Oh, I like genuinely, I didn't expect to see you," or she'll very enthusiastically say, "How are you?" Just like how she'll very enthusiastically say bye. Like, very enthusiastically. The responses won't in any way be brief, not at all. And she'll show large amounts of interest in the conversation that you have and getting to know you more. She'll ask many questions. She won't necessarily be excessively eager, but she will ask questions about you, and
she'll get to know you better. Especially, she'll want to get to know you better, and she'll ask questions about you in order to get to know you better, such as like what do you do, those sorts of questions. I say if there's any reason as to why, it'd be so that she has a clearer understanding of your character, who you are, just to make sure that she has a clearer idea in her head of what she's signing up for. Yeah. She may, for example, in the gym, what I've experienced with the same girl is like, she's asked me how am I, genuinely and very enthusiastically, like more than once, and that happened today. So that would be another sign that I'd say, to see how much she actually does want to speak to you. When speaking to her though, I haven't ever gone out of my way to speak to her personally, or even one of her friends. No. Whereas with the one-sided conversations, I absolutely have, which is, it's rather interesting. So that could be a sign that you're allowing conversations to be one-sided. If you're like purposefully, like how I've done yesterday, wait for certain people, and then they may actually be able to sense that you're putting in too much of an effort, more of an effort than they'd like, more than an effort than they feel happy with or comfortable with, and hence they just want you to leave them alone. Whereas with the conversations, with the people I've had, with the females I've had very two-sided conversations with, I haven't really gone out of my way excessively to go and speak to these people. It seems like this girl I'm talking about, she basically always has a smile on her face when speaking to me. Genuinely, almost always. There's, on the flip side of that coin, one girl that I'm thinking of who seemed like she had a smile on her face when speaking to me quite a bit of the time, but the conversations, in my opinion, were rather one-sided, because I experienced, it was always me initiating the conversations. Always. Literally always me initiating the conversations, and it was always me leading them. However, with this girl that I'd have very two-sided conversations with, it's not just me initiating conversations, it's most of the time her. But I'm more than down to say hello to her and how are you back. More than. I like how she comes off. Would I say that? I like the sort of character I see her to be, the personality traits that she has. She seems friendly. She seems like she takes care of her health, at least somewhat, because she goes to the gym fairly often. Yeah. And there was this one time, this same girl was saying, oh, actually, no, that was today. She's, oh, I didn't expect to see you, even though the last time we saw each other was 2 days ago. I don't think, when a female says that, I don't think that that's what they're saying. I don't think what they're saying explicitly is what they're saying implicitly as well. No, I think there's implicit meaning behind that. I think from now on, if a female ever says, oh, I didn't, we haven't seen each other in so long, even though it was like yesterday, I think what she's really saying is, I value your presence. I like you being around. I like speaking to you. I think that's what she's really saying to me. What she's really trying to tell me when she says that. She may not even know, but I think that's what she's saying. I may make another video on this, but I'm sweating because it's so hot in this car. I have opened the windows a bit, but I'm going to open the windows even more. However, I'll be heard probably by everyone if I actually make this video with the windows open, and what I'm talking about isn't anybody else's business in the neighborhood. I'm not interested in other people asking me questions around here about what's going on. So Yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. The conversation, basically, she'll want to go out of her way, just like how I said in the healthier boundaries, and I have healthier boundaries with socializing videos. She'll want to go out of her way to have a conversation with you. She will go out of her way to say hello and how are you, and when you leave, she'll say bye. She may even ask you how are you more than once when you're together in one day. And she will be very enthusiastic. She'll have a smile on her face for most of the time. It won't be excessive, but it will be natural. She'll value your presence. She may even say things like very enthusiastically say hello to you, or I didn't expect to see you, or we haven't seen each other in so long, if even though you may have seen each other like 2 days ago, like in my experience, for example. But man, oh man, I'm getting so hot and sweaty because of the sun, and also because it's so hot in this car. So I'll leave it at that for now. If I think I've missed so much, then I'll make another video about this.